following is a discussion with Lukas, our Head of Implementation Services at CluedIn. Lukas spends a lot of his time in the weeds with hands on the keyboard, working with customers in some of the most complex of data challenges. Therefore, he's the perfect type of person to get a gauge on how is MDM and data quality being addressed in companies today. Enjoy.
What is it like implementing MDM in comparison to some of these other kind of key components that most people would probably be well versed in, implementing business intelligence, implementing data integration and storage? How is MDM different?
I'll take data migration as an example, right? Your classical kind of lift and shift into the cloud. What you do is effectively, you go and you select star from that from every table and move it into a cloud storage. With MDM, however, you have a different objective. So you're aiming to provide a high quality data back to your business, but not all data really belongs in an MDM system. So really you're working with like personal data, product data, organizational data, and MDM system that may potentially have data quality issues that you need to rectify. But with data migration, you're just grabbing everything and you don't really care about what happens after, well, within that project at least, and you're just grabbing all the data and moving it into the cloud. So that's how it differs, I think, is you have to think about what data you want to bring in and what value does it actually provide. You don't ingest transactional data into your MDM system because you're not going to clean it. It can only be used as a kind of a referential data, right?
And you mentioned this kind of keyword data quality. Naturally, when we talk to analysts in the space, when we talk to our customers, when we talk to companies that are looking for MDM solutions, data quality is one of those elements that is on the tip of everyone's tongue. They know it is systemically causing a lot of underlying integrity issues in the rest of the stack that we're often exposed to in building. And I've always seen MDM as this point in your data journey where it's about stopping and not accepting that we just are going to pave over what we've done with new technology that's more scalable, that might be more cloud ready, but we're actually wanting to solve some of those underlying systemic issues that have been laying dormant, that kind of technical data debt that has been accrued over year and year. And, you know, there are often those kind of projects that are hard to get off the ground. We all know deep down, that's what we actually need to crack. We don't need a better visualization system. We don't need a more sophisticated data catalog. Really what it's down to is how do I actually have that data and how do I give it out to the business, but in a form that it's easy for them to pick up and start actually generating all of these kind of insights out of. Now you spend a lot of time with our customers, and this is something you and I both share in common at CluedIn now. Talk me through a couple of examples you've been witness to where they were these kind of big bang yes moments where you realized we've really kind of cracked that systemic problem.
Well, not answering your question directly first, I think the bane of poor quality data is free text fields, and you can't change my mind about it. But generally speaking, one example comes to my head is we were working with a customer who was into shipping, and they have a lot of ports. First of all, their ports were a little bit of a mess of just duplicates and etc. So once we cracked that, you know, when you look at traditional data quality metrics, like accuracy, validity, they all seem to be okay, right? They're not great, there's things to improve, but they're decent. But we came up with an idea of, what about if we plot this all on a map and see where their ports are based on coordinates? And then when we did, and I'm not into geography or see things too much, but if I see a lot of red dots that's supposed to be ports just out in the middle of the ocean, I know it's wrong, right? And I think that was one of the moments where we showed to the customer, like, yep, this is all wrong. You need to fix this. Like, your coordinates are incorrect. We're like, oh, we had no idea that was a problem. Let me call very relevant people and get this sorted out as soon as possible. So I think it was one of these moments like, yeah, that's a good data quality assignment right there.
Yeah, so context of visualization can often pull out a problem that may be hard to spot in traditional terms. You can imagine seeing things like longitudes and latitudes in an Excel sheet, very hard to actually understand if there's issues with it, but once represented in the right way, can become something glaringly obvious to your example. You know, for me, the moment where I realized MDM will help unlock the true potential and value of a company's data was actually to do with some of our enrichment services. Seeing data come in its raw format, missing values, limited in value due to just the amount of data that we had on these companies, these critical customer records that were the fuel of the majority of revenue for this business. And watching it go through this enrichment engine and coming out the other end, it almost seemed like a completely different product out the other end.